Alright, recorded. You guys can obviously come off mute. Just know that, I'm going to post this out. Alright, anyways. So, topic of discussion. We'll get into more of like the shorter term NASDAQ stuff tomorrow morning. So I don't really, want to echo it too much. But I want to look at a few setups that you guys had in mind. But first off, let's do breakers. A few people had asked about them. And, I think it'll be useful for us to just kind of freshen up. I know it might not be something that automatically sticks out to some, but others, it really does, and it turns out to be really helpful for them. So, I mean, we'll just go through random charts and just find them and point them out and just see the efficacy. So we'll start here, monthly NASDAQ. I see one right off the bat. So really, I wish I knew how to do that little like circle, like half circle thing. There's like one of those little like instruments that you can like, I don't know. I guess I can't do it here. I guess I can like highlight it, right? That works. Or curve. Let's see if this looks good. Oh, whoops. We want it like this. Okay. So ready? There's your first low. Okay. High. Ooh. It's probably easier just to draw them, but lower low. Okay. So low, high, lower low. Break up and through that candle's high, and that sets you up for a bullish breaker. So here would be your high right there. So the high of that sequence in the bullish breaker would be what we would view as that, or the high of the sequence would be that bullish breaker. Okay, and there it is. So price runs up and through, then you get your retracement down into the bullish breaker, and then you get the run up like that. So that's exactly how they're going to look on each of these. I know we're going to run through a bunch of them, so but that would just be example number one. Yes, low, high, lower low, push higher, candle creates imbalance, return and discount, mark low of candle for stop. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to look at the breakers for sure. Yeah, we could do Tesla too. I just want to try and go. We'll do them on every time frame, and let's just see. Let's see if we can find a weekly breaker right off the top here on NASDAQ. Yeah, we can. Okay, ready? I'm just gonna do the drawing. I think it's a little bit easier. So. There's low one, low, high, lower low. Okay. Here's your break through the high of that sequence. There it is. There's your retracement back into it. This is so high probability, and this is the one that I tweeted about that I post like all the time to brag about calling the bottom. But this one had a lot of layers to it. Obviously, there was a breaker. It was discounted in terms of like your range right there. So my model is also in play, and you also had this bullish fair value gap here. This one had a lot lining up for it, and that's why I felt so good about it. Also, 3 drives lower. This is something that I've been starting to talk about a little bit more as of late. I try to avoid like the whole like pattern trading stuff because most of it is garbage. But in this case, these are effective, and the way that I look at this also is that there's like fabric and details behind it. So for each one of these new lows that are getting set up, right, essentially what you're doing is stopping, pulling back for like mini little Mando models that are occurring inside here. So for example, ready, you took out this low right here with that price run. There's your discount retracement. This is a weekly bearish order block. There's your flush through lows. That's my model complete. That's number one. Is that really tradable for me? Not really. As good as it was, the setup was fine. Maybe on the daily it was a fair value gap. I like the imbalances versus an order block. I don't really trade off the order blocks for no particular reason other than I feel more comfortable trading the imbalances. So here's your second low, reach up into bearish imbalance. There's your melt through lows. That's my model again. Okay. And then here's actually another example as like really the context that's necessary to trade my model in the first place. There's a real reason why, and again, there's no hindsight here. Go check my tweet from, just do @MandoTrading. I like this low. there's a reason why I wasn't looking to play my model here. Okay, there's actually two really dead giveaways as to why I would not play it. It's not favorable. It really isn't even my model. One, there's no imbalance here. Okay, right? Notice that. Also, we got our discount requirement in a bullish range. I'm no longer looking for downside, right? So this would be like an odd NAM situation where I'm looking for first imbalance, play the retracement. First imbalance, play the retracement. Once we hit discount, all bets are off. I'm no longer looking for lower prices at that time. Okay. But this was a beauty. But that 3 drives pattern as well to add into what we already had, and we had buy side liquidity or previous all-time highs just chilling there. That was a slam dunk, man. Really, really nice setup, and glad I was on the right side of history there. But that would be an example of a weekly bullish breaker, and we'll also go and see if we can find bearish breakers as well, which we can. But all right, let's see on the daily if anything sticks out to us right now as a breaker. I mean, there are some here. Ready? But there's only, this one's a little bit more tricky. Ready? Same thing. Low, high, lower low, break up and through the high of the sequence. We would anticipate that acting as a support level moving forward. So now we broke above it with this candle. The next candle came back and tapped the top, and then it's gone. Okay, this one's a little tougher because we spent like 0 time inside the breaker, but nonetheless it plays as you would have expected it. So that's a breaker on the daily. Here, let me see. I think I just picked another little like low-hanging fruit. Here's another example. Again, once you see these, they're just unbelievable. So low, high, lower low, break up and through the high of that sequence. There's your bullish breaker. There's your break up and through. Here's your retracement down into it. There's your run. Okay, low, high, lower low. Notice how this immediate run didn't break through. That's fine. Nothing changes. It's still, we would just have to wait for that candle's high to be taken out. And let's see if there was another instance. Yeah, there was right here. So ready? One more on NASDAQ daily, and then we'll go down to a smaller time frame. That's fine. Just want to show you guys how these work. So ready? Low, high, lower low, same situation. It was an immediate break above. That's no problem. Okay, but once this high is taken out, that's when it's showtime, right? There's your break above. Oh, let me mark the breaker. Whoops. There it is. Bang. Ding, ding, ding. Bullish imbalance as well. This is a higher probability setup, right? Breakers alone, all good, all great. When they line up with fair value gaps too, like that one or like that one, that's double the layer of confirmation, right? You want as much going in one direction for your trade as possible. So that was a beauty as well. But that would be just some breakers on the daily, right? I have people that I work with that literally use that as their model. That's it. Just breakers. And that's fine. I'm sure you can have a ton of success by just doing something as simple as that, right? Where else? Do we have any more here? Nope. I mean, technically this is, right? Low, high, lower low, break up and through. This one's it looks a little different due to it being clustered here, but still a low, high, lower low, break up and through, retracement back down into that candle and run. So I'm just trying to show you as many examples as I possibly can to show you the efficacy of these and how they can be used as a way to be successful here. Low, high, lower low, break up and through. Here's your breaker candle. Oh shoot, I gotta fix that, sorry. There's your tap into the breaker, then you're gone. See? So yeah, they're awesome. And they're pretty, again, it's like once you see it, it's like you break through and you finally just you're not going to be able to not see it anymore. You just the first time. Once it clicks, it's there, and it's totally a game changer. Now, again, I don't necessarily only trade breakers or look to only trade breakers, but when I have a breaker with a fair value gap in discount of a bullish range, that I feel extremely, extremely confident in that setup playing out as expected. Now here would be an hourly example. Low, high, lower low, break up and through, retracement back down into the breaker, high of the sequence. There's your run. Let's see, were there any more? I mean, technically today too, yeah. Low, high, lower low, break up and through. And this is one of the, today it was kind of loaded with, when we were talking in live, there was like so much going on in terms of how we could justify one direction versus the other, which we can get into again here for those of you who weren't able to join the live. But there's your break up and through. Here's your respect for the breaker, and so far so good. It looks like we're going to buy side to get into that breaker. But how is that on the bullish breaker? Is that clear to everybody? Just drop it in the chat if you could, just to make sure that you guys are all seeing that pretty properly. Yes, Evander, great point. I left that out. Evander just said the lower low swept higher time frame liquidity. That's it. That's even better, right? Good. All right. Good. I'm glad that you guys see that. Yep. Cajun said the mid-November week is a breaker too. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe I missed it. That's the thing. I need Kyle. I don't know if Kyle's in here. Kyle is the breaker king, man. I'll have up a chart and he'll be like, oh, there's a breaker there too. It doesn't really matter how much chop is in the way. What do you mean by that, red shirt? I'll get to that in a sec. So then what we'll do is we'll look for bearish breakers on the flip side of that. So all it essentially is just inversing that initial idea of low, high, lower low. Now we're looking for a high, low, higher high, break down below. We can anticipate this area. So this is an hourly breaker that we actually are approaching. And this was one of the wrenches that were thrown into today's idea. If you remember in the morning session that we had, I was, this daily fair value gap, but I was also targeting that breaker. And that's why when we got into here initially, I hesitated and I didn't short it. And, look, I could have made money on that for sure. Ultimately, it wasn't the follow through though, right? We didn't get to where I wanted, so I didn't really jump it. I just didn't feel comfortable taking on the whole risk of this entire hourly fair value gap, which I think it would have been like 70 points or something like that. So, all right, once Redshirt responds, but we'll look through it. Let's find, there's not going to be many bullish breakers here in this current trend that we have, and we might have to get creative. We can I know for a fact of one, so let's go over here. Okay, well, was it on the I forget, was it? Maybe it was on the daily? Oh no, it was here. Okay, here it is. Weekly Apple. Here's an example of a bearish breaker. Okay, so you have your high, low, higher high, break down below the low of that candle. So upon retest, we would anticipate the low of that sequence to act as a resistance. There it is. Bing, and gone. If you get this, I'll be really impressed. What is this right here? What is that? If anybody gets that, I'll be really impressed. I just brought it up a little while ago.
3 drives lower.
Bang! You got it, man. Yep, and look what happens. So ready? Just like, let's map our immediate little range here. 3 drives lower to get you deeper into discount. I know here you're gonna say, well, I don't see any imbalance. What do you have right here? Low, high, lower low, bullish breaker, right? So it kind of all lines up that way. And then you have another breaker right here, which held for the initial run, but no continuation on that, right? So here would be, I guess, an instance where you would say, maybe that's a failure, depending on how you would look at it. So low, high, lower low, break up and through, got in, got out, not quite enough juice to get us up and through. And then we ended up turtle swooping, obviously, to run it higher. But this would be the example of the bearish breaker on Apple here. Let's see if I can find some more, just kind of off the rip here. We'll just go through it. Doesn't matter.
Wouldn't previous all-time high at 199.62 be a bullish breaker, Mando?
We're
Hitting
on
that.
Apple. Yeah, let me pull that
Yeah,
up.
on Apple. Yeah.
199. Bingo. Yep. Low,
Yeah.
high, lower low, break up and through. We can anticipate this area acting as a support level, right? So you might even have been taught, not by me, but by somebody else, or maybe when you were just learning about trading, you might have learned like, oh, when we break a high, like we come back down and retest it, right? Previous a previous resistance flip support, right? If you're thinking of like that, like very, very basic retail minded thing. Well, if that were to work, here's why it would work. A previous bearish order block is now flipped, meaning we have not only filled those orders, but have created some sort of imbalance up and through to really shift the tides here, right? So if Apple were to retrace down into here, I would fully anticipate that acting as a support level moving forward for that next run. Doesn't necessarily mean it's got to come down here now. What would make this even more highly probable, because my model right here is completed, right? So what do we have to do? We have to shift it over. What was the price run to take out our all-time high? And it was from this low to that high. Okay. This would also be a drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. See, there's things that you can actually see because they happen. But interestingly enough, you have a bullish volume imbalance and you have 50% of this range inside that breaker. Okay, so the most ideal situation, and again, look, we can continue higher on Apple here. We got a bullish fair value gap. We can totally justify that. Not exactly like what I'm like really keying in and targeting, but that's okay. But even if we were to expand, ideally that breaker is going to be in discount for you. That's what's going to make them more highly probable that they're actually going to be successful, right? So, but yeah, no, good eye there, Sunks, on that one. So let's see if I could just find some more bearish breaker examples, because did we get up? Yeah, here's one. End phase, long time ago, but high, low, higher high, break down below this low. We would anticipate the low of that sequence to act as a resistance level moving forward. That would be your bearish breaker. There's your pop, pop, dump. Okay, so that would be another example. Let's see if we can keep on finding more. It's easier to look for these bearish breakers when the market was actually going down, right? Here's another example. This one's a little bit uglier, and I guess I would even say this is kind of a failure of one. But high, low, higher high, low of the sequence would be right here. See, look, sloppy. That one's tough to trade. I'll give you that. I would honestly say this is a failure due to the fact that I don't know how I would trade this. It still worked, right? We never closed above or anything like that. So if that's your guideline for the breakers, that's fine. For me, I would still use the imbalance with the high of the candle being my stop out and everything. So I would have lost if I were to take this, just to be clear. But if you were to go off the, nope, we never left that area, we never disconnected, then yeah, the breaker worked, right? So that would just be another example of the breaker there. Let's see. Does AMD have any? No, not really. No. ARM, anything?
You looking for a bearish breaker?
Yeah, I'm just clicking through and just gonna see what we can find here. You got one?
Yeah, Roblox. On the weekly. Week 426. Although the dates for you is going to be different because Weevil's shit.
426.
There's your high.
Here.
Nope, no. Back. High. Ooh,
Oh yeah,
yep.
you're right. High, low,
Low.
higher high, break down below, retracement up into it. It's gonna melt this, dude. It gave you a little bit of a trouble, but
Yeah, we're still in it.
yep. Take out these highs, you get a bullish breaker on Roblox. Low, high, lower low, break up and through. Look at those relative equal highs. Stops right in time. Let's see. More examples of the bearish breakers. They're a little bit harder to find due to the fact that we've just been turning and burning for a while here. Let's see. There's got to be one up here, right? High, low, higher, high, break down below. Yeah, I guess. High, low, higher, high. So huge, but retraced into it, dumped. Okay, that would be another. Let's see. Let's do like 2 more. Nah, let's see. Off the highs. If we can find one. Yeah. High.
There's a
Low.
monthly example on Expedia.
Oh, we can do Expedia. Cool. High,
On the
low,
monthly.
higher, high, break down, up into the bearish breaker here. There's your dump. Okay, that would be another. And you said Expedia monthly? All right, here it is. Beautiful. Look at that. High, low, higher, high, break down below, retracement back up. This is perfect, right off the midpoint of it. Rejection. Okay. Does that mean that if we were to come back up into it now, I would value it the same? Probably not, right? I honestly, at this point, we've got that discount requirement also. So, but I hope that was helpful. Everybody in here, you feel okay? Yeah, all these are recorded. They're all in the 2024 mentorship tab. Sometimes they take a little longer to get uploaded than others. So like tonight, like in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna cut here and watch our beautiful nation, the leaders of our beautiful nation, get in front of everybody and
The
talk.
two best candidates we have available.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna watch that, but I just wanted to run through the breakers because I hope after you guys saw this, it just makes them really, really clear. Yeah, 3 drives, nice. A few people got the 3 drives. Cool. I've seen people use the candle that comes before the low or the high of the sequence, depending on. Yeah, so I'm thinking that if they're using the bearish breaker, they're using the red candle regardless, and if they're looking for a bullish breaker, they're using the green candle. To me, it's I haven't seen any difference, honestly. It's not like you're getting a gap for the most part on those lows, so the range is all relatively close. I've had success using the way that I have with the high of the sequence regardless, so who else? So you even saw 1 minute chart. You're seeing bearish breakers. Got it. Cool. Yeah. HD daily. Okay, yeah, we can look at Home Depot. Yeah, let's do Home Depot's daily. And I think Red Shirt, you had asked something else also. Let's see. You got one up here, that's for sure. High, low, or even if you want to stretch it a little bit. High, low, higher, high, low of that sequence here. Haven't got to that one yet. Let's see. I'm not really seeing that. High, low, higher, high. For a little bit, I guess, right? High, low, higher, high.
I was thinking more recently.
Oh, let's see. I'll zoom in more too. But there's your rejection off it the first time, right? Here, let's see. So you said recently on this high, low, higher, high. Yeah, there it is. Right here. That's where we currently sit. Right there. Rejected right off 50% of it. Good eye there. Yeah.
Kind of leaves me not knowing what to do in that region.
To me, every time frame still kind of plays here, to be honest. Do you have the bullish breaker as well? Low, high, lower, low, break up and through. I mean, you did have a bullish breaker, and you're in discount. You met your discount requirement. So, yeah, I don't think this one's going to carry all that much weight. This could be enough, if I'm just, in my opinion at least. But that's at Home Depot. And Red Shirt, you had something else also, right? It doesn't really matter how much chop is in the way. Like on Home Depot, the monthly breaker, bullish breaker has a long time. and a lot of candles in that region, but it did show support. Sometimes there's a lot of chart noise. Yeah, there can be a lot of time spent inside those, right? So especially on a higher time frame too. Think about all the orders that are processed in a month, like in the duration of whatever it is, however many trading days are in that month, whether it's 20, 22, it depends on what month it is, but that can be a lot of information, as I'd like to say, because each of these candles really is just info, but a lot of orders inside that month, right? So it could take more time to break down if the next month's interest, if you will, is or the lack of liquidity in that specific instance is not up to snuff with what has previously had occurred. So but that's all of those. And then Mikey, you wanted to look at Tesla really quick before we pop off. Yeah, I'm waiting for 198.87. We're really damn close. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I really want to see that 205 like soon, preferably within like the next week or so. Yeah, just really nice weekly turtle soup here. Took out that low, starting to run. Buy side is 205, right? This is a smaller time frame, 198.80. I really would prefer it to expand immediately. This is a low resistance liquidity run, meaning that there's no higher time frame imbalance in between this high here at 198 and that 205.60. So I would love for it to really quickly go up and get that 205. 205 is a real point of interest for me because we have this, what I deem as like that showtime imbalance here. Again, I think this is bullish. I think ultimately Tesla's going here over time, of course. But to have this imbalance here on a monthly time frame, it's hard for me to just come right out and say I think we're going to get up and through this in one shot. So does that mean we fill it, close a monthly, maybe that next month create that fair value gap, the following month retrace into that fair value gap before making the run? I think the big run on Tesla is really going to come after we can get through 228, and the reason for that is because on the monthly chart, this is filled, and this, oh no, there's not even one there, and that volume imbalance here is also filled. I removed that because we did close it in, but really it should look like this. They're all filled. There's no imbalances above this right here. So I think things can get nutty if we can finally get above that 228 level. So
You want a crazy example? Go to Netflix on the weekly.
Netflix weekly, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about here. Woohoo! Look at that. Ain't that a beauty?
So there's a
huh?
bearish breaker at the previous high, and we resisted on that for a bit, around 640, and bounced off for a bit.
Ready? Where are we? Here, right? Or this as well. You got two. This one really, and also this. High, low, higher, high, break down below. There's your first tap into it. Here you got a couple more taps into it before rejecting it. And then that second one up here, high, low, higher, high. You got into it here, tap, pull back a little bit before ultimately making its way. So ideally, red shirt, this is what I think would happen on Home Depot, where maybe you mix in a red candle or two, but I think it's overarching and overwhelmingly bullish, right? I know right here I have a bearish range mapped out on Netflix, but if we were just to go back to the inception of time on this, let's see, where do we make that run that never retraces into discount? Here, there it is. No. Goner. So, but yeah, that's red Netflix. But yeah, anyways, Tesla, I like it a lot, man. That it was teasing it towards the end of the day. I really wanted it to go up and snag those equal highs. We're so damn close, and we created an hourly imbalance right here. So that is kind of baiting me because I have a few contracts, a lot of time on those contracts. I'm thinking I'm gonna take off at 205. I was thinking 198 for a bit, but the fact that we created a daily fair value gap here, I don't think this is a one shot or any substantial retracement. $10 down would come at this point until we got liquidity. So I'm thinking that's where I'm going to take. Everybody's different, of course. If you have a sick gain here and you're happy about it, of course, do as you wish. But I think for me, I have until August on these. And these are the ones I bought earlier in the week. But yeah, I really like Tesla. I really do. I'm hoping tomorrow we just get to 205, call it quits. That would be ideal. We can all dream, right? But anyways, yeah, that'll put me $20 in the money with 2 months to go on those. But anyway.